What's going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and this is the launch week of the Nintendo Switch. I was kind of like scouring around trying to find something that was red and white to wear just to kind of, tie everything in. But that's beside the point. The Nintendo Switch is coming out this week, and it is a very important console for Nintendo and kind of the industry overall. From the industry's perspective, this is kind of the first real hybrid between a home console and a handheld console, which is kind of blowing my mind in particular because whenever I first heard about this idea that Nintendo was putting out there, I wasn't entirely sold on it because it's very hard to replicate the feel and the experience of a home console whenever you're on the go. But the more I see pictures and videos and the more I hear about what the experience is with the Switch, it actually works, and that's pretty cool. Now, as far as the console itself, it's running an NVIDIA Tegra processor that was specifically made for the Nintendo Switch by NVIDIA. Now, the NVIDIA Tegra processor is one that's included in the NVIDIA Shields, which is pretty much just your little tablet that you can play PC games on. And so it's a little bit more powerful than that if I were to guess, but it certainly isn't going to stack up graphically or powerfully to the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. However, as far as resolutions go, it is going to be 1080p on your TV whenever you plug it into the base. As far as the handheld portion of the Switch goes, it is running 720p, which is perfectly fine because you're on the go. You're playing an incredible kind of game that has been specifically optimized to work well on the Nintendo Switch in both the plugged into the base form and also on the handheld form. So there isn't really anything to worry about there. It simply just lengthens the battery time because if there was a 1080p screen on this little handheld device, you'd probably get about 45 minutes of playtime, which nah. The Nintendo Switch is very important for Nintendo itself as well because of the reputation that the Wii U has left behind. Right now, Nintendo is really winning it with the handheld consoles because of the Nintendo 3DS and the new 3DS and all of that good stuff that they've been doing over the course of the past couple of years. But as far as the Wii U goes, people just kind of want it gone, want it dead, and never wanted it to exist in the first place for the most part. However, if the Nintendo Switch is a hit, even if it can't compete graphically with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, the experiences that the Switch offers and that Nintendo has become famous for could definitely make the Switch a big player, even when compared to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and even PC. It's all about those experiences. Speaking of experiences, I thought we would take this opportunity to kind of check out what launch games are coming to the Nintendo Switch this week, but instead of giving my opinion like I normally do in an episode of The Drop, I'm not really going to be doing that because I just kind of want to present these facts to you and show you what games are coming out. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into it. Kicking things off this week, we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I consider to be the big system seller for the Nintendo Switch, at least for its first quarter, or at least the first half of 2017. Forget everything you know about the Legend of Zelda games. Step into a world of discovery, exploration, and adventure in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a boundary-breaking new game in the acclaimed series. Travel across vast fields, through forest and to mountain peaks as you discover what has become of the Kingdom of Hyrule in this stunning open-air adventure. Now on Nintendo Switch, your journey is freer and more open than ever. Take your system anywhere and adventure as Link any way you like. Another big game coming out this week that has been shown off over the course of the past couple of weeks is 1-2-Switch. Throw an impromptu party anywhere with anyone thanks to a new playstyle in which players look at each other, not the screen. Bring the action and fun into the real world as you face off in Wild West duels, cow milking competitions, and copycat dance-off and more. Each game takes advantage of the Joy-Con controller features of the Nintendo Switch system in different ways. While the action unfolds off-screen, the audience watches the players themselves instead of the screen. That makes it as hilarious to watch as it is to play, an instant party amplifier. Following that, we have one of my favorite franchises of all time coming to the Nintendo Switch, and I was very glad to see that it was going to be a launch title, and that is Super Bomberman R. I actually considered buying a Switch because of this game. Bomberman, the iconic party battle game, is returning as Super Bomberman R on the Nintendo Switch and will be released alongside the launch of the new system for home and on-the-go fun. Players can go head-to-head in a heated battle mode where up to 8 players are dropped within a maze until the last man standing is declared the winner. All iconic Bomberman elements return to the game, including a dynamite list of items featured within the destructible areas of each maze. Removing a wall will often reveal a power-up to extend the range of the explosion or endow Bomberman with a useful skill, including faster movement, the ability to kick or throw bombs, and more. As players gain more devastating capabilities, they must use their skill and ingenuity to ensure their opponents get caught in a blast while avoiding its fiery touch. And we are also seeing the return of a fan-favorite indie franchise that came out a couple of years ago and has really taken the world by storm. And of course, I am talking about Shovel Knight. But we're not just seeing a port of the original Shovel Knight, we're seeing Shovel Knight Specter of Torment. Slash through the prequel to Shovel Knight and recruit a cadre of villains as Specter Knight, the shadowy scythe spinner. Man, that's hard to say. Featuring a brand new playable character, all new weapons and armors, all new levels, all new music, new bosses, and a brand new story to adventure through. Not going to lie, it's awesome seeing Shovel Knight being a Nintendo Switch launch title because people love that kind of game, and it's awesome to see the Metroidvania experience coming back to where it really belongs on a Nintendo console. Not saying it's bad on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, I'm just saying it's nice to see Nintendo finally really embracing that as a launch title. Moving right along to a game called Snipper Clips, cut paper characters into new shapes to solve dynamic puzzles and play activities in a wonderfully creative and imaginative world. Work together with friends to cut paper characters into new shapes and solve puzzles. Snipper Clips features dynamic puzzles full of ever-changing gameplay where you'll use your imagination to solve puzzles of many different types in fun and interesting ways. Do you ever read a thing and then you realize that they're just restating the same thing that they've said in different ways? That's what I'm getting here. 3 different modes are featured in Snipper Clips. Oh, some information. The first features solving basic and advanced puzzles by yourself or with a friend, then work together as a team in 2 to 4 player dynamic puzzles or compete against your friends in side activities. The last full game that I'll be telling you about is Fast RMX. Jump into the driver's seat of your anti-gravity vehicle and put your skills to the test in high-octane competitions. Challenge your friends to local split-screen competition or take part in online races against players from all over the world. Now, like I said, those are just a couple of big highlights. The rest of the list includes 1-2-Switch, Fast RMX, which we have discussed, Just Dance 2017, Human Resource Machine, I Am Setsuna, definitely a Nintendo-style game that is definitely worth giving a look if you are getting a Nintendo Switch this week. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Little Inferno, a cool indie game, Shovel Knight, like we said, Scepter of Torment, Skylanders Imaginators, Snipper Clips, Super Bomberman R, and a classic platformer, World of Goo. A lot of people are saying this is not that great of a launch lineup, and I'm going to disagree with that because there is something for everyone here, and all of the games coming out are genuinely good. You don't just have a whole bunch of little indie shitty titles, and what's very surprising is there is no Mario right off the bat. Obviously, Mario Odyssey should be coming out this holiday season. Wouldn't be surprised to see that get delayed. We'll talk about that if it happens, but that being said, it's still very strong with your Zelda title tying down Nintendo fans, and then all these nice little indie titles coming in to tie down indie fans and fans of stuff like Metroidvania and platformers. There's just a good variety of experiences here, and even though there aren't that many games, there are a lot of good games. So we'll just have to see how the Switch actually does fare whenever it comes out later this week, but it's always an exciting time in the gaming industry whenever a brand new piece of hardware is coming out. Even if you're not necessarily going to be a day one adopter, it's just fun to see how people react to it, how people enjoy playing it, the streams that are going to be on Twitch. It's just generally a lively activity whenever a new thing comes out in the industry. It's always fun to see. So that wraps it up for the Nintendo Switch-tacular event that I've been planning for a couple of days here. If you enjoyed the video, drop me a like down below. And also, if you are new to my channel and you've never seen my other content, I do upload new stuff throughout the week, so there's always something new on the channel when you drop by to watch some videos. But as for right now, I'm going to go get ready for the release of Horizon Zero Dawn because it is such an incredible week for video games. I will talk to you soon. Peace.